Ja, reggelt kívánok. Hogy vagy? Jó? Hmm. Oh boy. Yep, that's good. Oh, goodness gracious. Start of another day. It's Saturday. If I were back home right now on Saturday, waking up at about this time, I'd probably, I don't know what I'd be doing, walking down to the gym or something like that. And I'd probably be planning my day as far as, going to Costco. I used to go to Costco's on every I used to go to Costco every Saturday afternoon. That was my big thing. I'd go to Costco. And remember I used to do the cooking shows in my kitchen and all that stuff. But hmm, a lot on my mind today. I'm going to try not to do a 30-minute video, because I sometimes I just babble on about all types of stuff. But so I'm going to change my ticket today. I'm going to change my ticket to August 1st. And I'm going to book this place. I go online and I look at the points and I look at where I can book and everything. And yesterday I went to look at a couple other places that were the same price or more, a little bit more than this. And this has got to be like God's blessing to me or God's favor or whatever you want to call it. I mean, the fact that I can stay here in this two-bedroom apartment with a stove. I went to look at these other places yesterday. They didn't even have a freaking stove. They had a hot plate. How are you supposed to cook frozen pizza on a freaking hot plate? I'm just saying. But more about the frozen pizza in a moment. But anyway, I'm going to book until the first of I'm going to book until the first of well, I'm going to change my flight to the 1st of August. And I'm going to stay here at least another week or two, probably another 2 weeks until the 1st of July. And then Carlo might come up. Carlo might come up from Melbourne and hang out with me here in Nelson Bay for a few days. And then Carlo and I might do the Carlo and Tom Road Show, the road trip back down to Melbourne. And that would be that would be a nice trip, or one would hope. Down south of Sydney and along I think it's called the Princess Highway or something like that. But anyway, I think a lot about how nice it would be to get on a plane, go back to my own bed, my own house, my own, riding my bike and all that kind of stuff. I think about that a lot. But I'm comfortable here. And, I've got good internet. I can work. It's quiet. I got my little birds. Is it the most wonderful place in the world? No, not necessarily. But it's nice. It's nice. It's comfortable. It's clean. It's quiet, and all that good stuff. But anyway, so I'm just going to try to settle into a little bit of a routine here, and just stick it out for a little while. But speaking of routines, every night I go for a walk. Every night I take a walk, and I usually walk the better part of 45 minutes. And I have the same route. I walk up the hill, by the golf club or whatever it is, golf course. I walk up the hill and then I walk down around towards Little Beach. And then from Little Beach, I walk up and over into the area by the marina in Nelson Bay and back. And I've had this habit of, as I walk, putting on either Rush Limbaugh or Buck Sexton. I listen to one of the two, Rush Limbaugh or Buck Sexton. I'd listen to live radio, but it's usually not a good time there's nothing on live radio at the stations that I like to listen to. But anyway, I'm walking along on my walk yesterday, and it was a rather nice evening. And I'm listening to, I think it was Buck Sexton or Limbaugh. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm listening to them, and about halfway into my walk, I found myself thinking, I found myself thinking, what am I thinking? What am I doing? You know, I go on my walk, and it's just kind of a nice break. I go on the walk for exercise and a little, peace of mind and a little, fresh air and everything like that. And all the while, I'm walking along and I'm almost mindlessly listening to this talk show, the Rush Limbaugh or the whatever it is. And it's the same thing every day. I mean, it's just how, the left is doing this and the left, it's just the same stuff every day. And sometimes I listen to it or I walk along and it's just in my ear and I'm not even listening to it. And yesterday I was walking along, I recalled that I have this app on my phone called Audible. And I thought, you know what am I doing listening to this talk, this talk radio, political talk radio about how bad things are. And I remembered I had Audible and I picked up this book. I opened up a book on Audible that I had called How Not to Diet. It's not how to diet, but how not to diet. And it's a book that my brother turned me on to. King, his name is King David. My brother turned me on to this book, How Not to Diet. And when he first turned me on to it, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, sure, I'll listen to it. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, okay, thanks for recommending it. Okay. I mean, that's kind of the attitude that I had when I first downloaded this book. But then I think I started listening to it on a road trip, and I haven't gotten even halfway through it, but it's probably one of the more fascinating reads that you'll have. One of the more fascinating listens that you'll have listening to it. And it's kind of the story, maybe I've talked about this before, but it's kind of the story of the history of food. How we've progressed over, or I don't know if the word is progressed, but how we've transitioned over the years from, eating, like whole foods, plants, vegetables, unprocessed foods, to what we're eating now and all that type of stuff. And, as I started listening to it, there's so much information that you couldn't possibly retain, 10-20% of the information that you're listening to as you're walking along. It's fascinating, to be quite honest with you. Yesterday they were talking all about fiber, how eating fiber and the right amount of fiber, and I guess the right type of fiber and all that stuff can be so beneficial to you, as far as weight loss and, all that kind of stuff. And it went into talking about, what's better for you, eating an apple or an orange or eating a banana or, just all this kind of stuff. And I got to tell you, I went to the supermarket on my way home. I always do that. I go to the supermarket. That's one of the last stops, which is only a couple minutes from my house. I went to the supermarket and I picked up apples. I got some apples, and then I bought some dates. I mean, I can't get a date otherwise. So I thought I might as well buy them off the shelf. So I thought, okay, I'll get some dates, and every now and then. It's not to say that I don't indulge in stuff. I got myself some cocoa, 95% ultimate dark. If they had 99%, I'd get it, to be quite honest with you. I'd get it, but 95% cocoa. I'll usually have a square of this in the evening before going to bed. But anyway, so that's kind of that was one thing on my mind. And I thought to myself, as I was walking along yesterday, I was walking home from the store with my date, my my Friday night dates, and I found myself thinking yesterday there was somebody on my video who made a comment about me introducing them to Van Morrison. You know how much they like Van Morrison or something like that. And as I was walking along, I found myself thinking that to some extent, albeit a small extent, I'm an influencer. That's what I am. So somewhere out there right now, one of the 8 of you that are watching this, or one of the couple hundred that will watch this over the next day or so, um, will probably go and buy that book, How Not to Diet. And some of you might even think, gee, maybe I should get some dates or some apples or something like that. And anyway, it's just an interesting thought. You know, the other thing on my mind, is that I was talking with Yanae the other day, and Yanae, most of you know the story. I'm not going to go into the whole story of Yanae and what have you, but Yanae and her daughter are staying at my house, and my house is about 3 hours from an apartment that she's renting, or has a 1 year, she signed a 1 year lease on this apartment, and she's trying to get out of it. And we were talking, and on a recent over the past couple of weeks, she wanted to go up to her apartment with her daughter and get some of their belongings out of the apartment. And I thought that I would let them take my car, my Buick, my SUV. It's a nice car. And I called up my insurance company and I told them to activate the insurance on it. And I told Yanae to take my car. And she went up there, and I thought that she was going to go up there for a day, you know, get her stuff and then drive back down. But she was up there for the better part of a week. And I found that a little bit challenging, you know, for whatever reason. I found it a little bit challenging that she was driving my car around for a week up there. And for whatever reasons, I let it bother me, you know, for whatever reason, you know, that she was driving my car around for a week as opposed to what I thought would be a day to go back up there. But I was telling her yesterday, we were talking about something, and she kind of alluded, you know, she needs to go back up there or something. And she kind of alluded to the fact that I don't fully, you know, understand or perhaps appreciate everything that she's dealing with in her life, you know, and without going into a lot of detail, I started to give that some thought. And I called her back later and I said, you know, I said, I know life isn't necessarily the easiest for you. You know, you've got your struggles, you're dealing with different things. I said, I don't want to make your life more difficult. You know, I said, I don't want to be a person that makes your life more difficult. I want to make your life better is ultimately, you know, what I want to do. And I kind of acknowledge that, you know, at times I can be a little bit, I don't know what the word is, not demanding or whatever it is, but I can be a little bit, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. But I just told her, you know, I said, don't worry about it. You know, don't worry about anything. Just, you know, do what you need to do. I just want to make your life easier for you. And you know, that's the truth. And something that I haven't told a lot of people, to be quite honest with you. You know, people might look at my motivations or question my motivations for helping people out, such as I do with Yanae and her daughter. they might look at that and question, you know, my motivations, my intentions, all that kind of stuff. And to be quite honest with you, to be completely honest with you, a lot of it has to do with karma, you know, karma and what have you. And I find myself being a single guy, and I think at some point in time in my life, you know, I'm gonna need somebody. I'm gonna want to have somebody. I'm gonna need somebody there for me, you know, to help me in a hard time. And I just think that, you know, the things that I'm doing for Yanae and for her daughter, I'm hoping, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, they'll come back to me at some point in time in my life if I need them. So it's kind of like an investment, you know, taking care of Yanae and her daughter. For me, at least, I see it as somewhat of an investment because I hope that karma is such that you know, should I find myself in a situation, um, should I find myself in a situation that you know, I would need somebody or something, you know, that karma would return the favor, so to speak. Hmm. So anyway, that's kind of the thought process. I'm taking them out to dinner tonight. I called I called her daughter, or her daughter called me rather, to ask me some questions about some work that she's doing, and uh, and I asked her if they'd had dinner yet tonight, and she said no, not yet. And I said go out to dinner. I said go out to dinner and just, you know, tell me how much it cost. And I said take my car, take my car. Let me buy your mom and you dinner tonight. And you know, I could tell in her voice how much that meant because it's you know, it's scary. It's scary back there for a lot of people. It's scary over here for a lot of people. And you know, just to offer a little ray of sunshine in an otherwise overcast day is it's nice. It's nice to be able to do that. So, hmm. Anyway, I need to get on with my day. You know what I'm doing today? I think today, depending on the weather, I'm going to go snorkeling. I'm going to go snorkeling out here in Nelson Bay over by Fly Point and Little Beach. And who knows what I'm going to see down there. I hope I see some pretty cool stuff. But I'm only going to go if the weather is nice. You know, if the weather's nice, then I'll go down. But otherwise, I probably won't. So anyway, with all that being said, I need to get down with my day. I hope everybody out there's doing well. All right, take good care. Bye bye.